Haha. Looks super dark. All right. Let's see. Look at that. It's been a few months. I think I got it working again. This time it's inside my house, so hopefully, fingers crossed, our internet connection's a lot better. We will see. We'll see how it goes. Nobody's on yet, but anybody checking this out later on, the title kind of says it for itself. But I'm going to be building some VAP arrows from Victory Archery, some VAPs. These are the elite, so they have the best tolerance. It's pretty cool. They offer them in a couple different tiers, so that's pretty fun. But I have a half dozen here, so I'm going to be trying to, or not trying, I will be building these half dozen. I'm not going to cut them because I can't take all of this out to my garage, and you guys probably don't want to follow me. You probably don't want to wait around for all of that anyway, and I got to make a more official video on it, but I figured I'd share live with you guys, you know, the first half dozen, and then I'll actually make a video about the second half dozen. Alright, well, we're going to get started here. There's 3 people on, so welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out for something I never announced. It's pretty good. We have some components here too. We'll have pins, pin knocks, and I will also have points. We'll be checking out the points. I'm not going to glue them in because I have to cut these shafts, and yeah, like I was just saying, I'm not going to do all that on the live stream. We got 2 cameras running, which is kind of fun. We got this nice up close one that I got to remember that's like right over here, so you guys can actually see what's going on. Pretty cool. You can check them all out. Got the arrows too. They come with knocks, so that's pretty great. I'm really excited about that. And let's get started. What was cool right away is that there wasn't really any residue. I know the Easton X10s always have a ton of carbon residue. There wasn't really any on these. First thing though, so I'm gonna take these knocks off because I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the insert knocks, and I always end up. I hit arrows all the time, and it's a really quick and easy way to, you know, Robin Hood your own arrow with having knocks that insert. So I'm a pin knock kind of guy. But we'll take these out. And next one. Hopefully I can do some more live streaming in the future. I don't know. It's a tough one. In some aspects, I would really like to be able to do what the video game people do with their streaming and do that for archery. I'm just still working on concepts of like how to do that, and at the same point in time, internet's really terrible here. So I think this is all in, so it's 720, maybe 1080. I don't know. This camera here might be doing 1080, but other than that though, it's hard to have the bandwidth available. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, things are always changing. So we have our knocks out. Got a nice little pile of them here. I'm gonna go and put these off to the side, probably right back where I placed them. I'm gonna keep them there. We'll prepare to put our pins in, and I got some fire here, and we can go and do that in a moment. Oh, I'll put them backwards. Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Man. They're easier to open than this. The thing is, there's a tab that comes with it, and I just took a pair of scissors and chopped the top off of it. But I cut really close to where the zipping part, the closing part is. So yeah, that was a bit of a struggle. All right, emptied those out. We got our 6, and we'll get our knocks ready too. All right, and we have 6 knocks. All right, put those aside. So how's everybody doing today? It's super cold here still. I think we're still below 32. Maybe it got a little warmer. I know it was pretty rough. It was like 25 this morning, Fahrenheit. Is that like -1 Celsius, something along those lines? I could be off. I'm still terrible at converting Fahrenheit to Celsius. Oh no. This might be short-lived. That's all the flame I got. We're actually running out of propane. Figures. All right, so we're gonna go heat this up. It's probably still too low. Put our glue on it now. Ooh, our flame is really sad. All right, we got some. Cool. This is also my first time building these arrows, so it's first time building VAPs, and it's my first time building any kind of Victory Archery product. So definitely a new experience for me, and I get to share it with you guys right away, so that's pretty awesome. And, the fit of the components is pretty good so far, at least on this first arrow. There's not like minimum, if none at all. Some arrow brands, and I noticed it more with like the Black Eagles when I was shooting them, there would be a noticeable like ledge between the arrow shaft and like the pin or the point. And so far with these arrows, there is no real noticeable ledge. Like you really have to like try to feel it out. So pretty much right on the lines of the X10 and such, with how tight the tolerances are on the shafts and the components for those shafts. Ooh, bubbly. All right, got that one. Ah, hello Sandra, how are you? Hi Wagner, I'm not sure what you said, but hello. All right, we got 2 there. Number next. So we're just heating up the pin. And then once it's hot enough, we just go and put glue on it. A fast fletching challenge would be fun. I guess I would have to talk my brother into it or something. Like I don't know how I could do it just with myself, but yeah, I would like to do stuff like that. It's tough. There's really nobody nearby that I can do target archery related things with. Like there's not even target compound shooters. I'm basically the only one, and like unless I drive like 2 hours, but it's a tough world down here. How did I judge the spine to buy? Victory had a pretty good calculator. I just plugged in all of my numbers. This is like pretty advanced too. Like they asked like fletching weight and things like that. Some of them I left just generic values for like knock weight and fletching weight and stuff if I did not know them. And then I just put draw length, weight of bow, and it told me 500 should be acceptable. I might have to play around with it a little bit. I'm gonna leave these nice and long when I actually do go to tune them to my bow, because you can't put back what you take away from arrows unless you buy another set. So I'm gonna make sure I have more than enough arrow shaft to play with. I got a good range on my limbs too. I really want to stay right at the 46. I've been nice and comfortable there, and my form's improved a lot because of dropping weight down to the 46. I have a lot more control over it, so I really want to stay right around that number. Plus, it's a lot more effective, I feel like, at 70 meters. My sight is low enough. I don't want to go into like the 44-pound range or so, and then I really have to play around with my sight to easily hit 70. I like it as far out as I can get it, and I like some room on the elevation bar too of my sight. So I don't know. Maybe these arrows will come in even lighter than the X10s, and I'll actually gain some elevation. I guess we will see. I didn't look into all the details that exactly. I was just really excited that there were some good possibilities with these arrows, and some good possibilities with the VXTs. That's their new one. That's one up from the VAP, the VAP. We'll see about those two. Hopefully I'll be able to pick them up as well and see how they perform. It's been a process. I really need the weather to get better out here. It's been terrible. You can't... It's hard to shoot well and consistently when it doesn't get over 35 every day. Or if it is over 35 degrees, we have like 30 or 40 mile an hour winds. So it's really tough trying to make a video about like tuning arrows and seeing how they actually fly and stuff when the weather's been just terrible here. Hopefully, as we get into March, the weather improves. If not April, it'll straighten itself out at some point. It's tough living on the coast. We get rough weather in the spring, and we get rough weather in. Actually, the weather's usually pretty good through the fall. The problem is our water's too cold. It's only in the low 50s. Hello Brazil. How are you guys doing? How you doing? All right, so we got our next arrow done. All right, here is our last. Whoop. our last pin. We're going to put this pin into our last arrow here. Just going to heat that up. Oh, really, PJ? Oh, that would be cool. I would be very excited to have higher sight marks, especially since I was really used to having a fairly high sight mark when I was shooting 48 pounds. And since moving to 46 pounds, my sight marks have definitely dropped, and my aperture is way too close to my arrows. It's kind of uncomfortable. It's very close. There's only a very small gap, maybe like 2 inches at the most. There isn't a clearance issue with it. I've looked, but it's it's really close to hitting my aperture, my sight pin. So that would be cool if these are super light and they fly higher because they're lighter and they're going faster. That would be a major win. We'll definitely be finding out. I hope to be able to actually compare them directly to my X10s. We'll see how all this goes. Again, I still need the weather outside to improve, or gotta move to a warmer state. Okay, so we have all the points glued in, so we're gonna turn this off. We're about to lose our flame anyway. I guess I'm running out of propane. All right, put the glue away too. Okie dokie. So they're all looking good. 6 arrows with 6 pins now. Pretty nice. Now we are going to put these pins on them. Not too bad looking pins. I don't know. I know somebody asked me at one point who actually makes them, and I am not sure. It may be Victory. I probably could email them about it and see what they say. But I'll have to find out. I know somebody asked me in one of the videos I put up. Oh, why did I decide to try VAPs when I already have X10s? Because I need new X10s. And new X10s are going to cost me over $400. And I can buy a dozen of these for I think it's $300. Sorry, I don't quite remember off the top of my head, but it's cheaper. It is definitely cheaper, and if they're as good and they're going to be less of a cost to me, then I can put that money towards going to more tournaments or trying to do more videos that like you guys request and things like that. So it's just a matter of savings. If the performance isn't there, I won't use them because my shooting and score and stuff are too important. I have a pretty good, it's a little low right now. I have an all right ranking in the U.S. And this year is the start of like our Olympic year. So we'll see if they don't match my not quite my expectations, but if they're not performing as well, or at least as well as the X10s, then I'll definitely stick with the X10s. But I need a new set. I've had the same set for a year, and they're really starting to get worn down. So I like a fresh dozen arrows for every season, or every year at least. If I could afford twice a season, then I would do a new dozen for indoors, a new dozen for outdoors. But at least once a year. Yeah, Sandra. Yeah, so you have the same thing. I'm doing I'm doing exactly the same thing with mine, which is funny because you're shooting a lot less weight than I do. Maybe your sight's in a little bit more, but yeah, I don't know. It's too close for my liking. I've been fortunate. I've shot such heavyweight for so many years that I would have like 3 or 4 inch gap. Like my 90 when I was shooting 48, 50 pounds. My 90 is my 70 setting now with shooting 46 pounds. So it's like, oh, I feel like I'm shooting 90 again, and I don't even have like all this weight, all this extra weight. Even though 46 pounds is still really, it's a pretty heavy bow, but it's like, oh, I kind of missed the good old days. But then again, my form was really bad, and it was really inconsistent back then. So I guess I'll take what I have now. Enya, hello. How are you? X10 so far. So far, I really feel like these are matching up on build quality. At least I haven't shot anything downrange yet. Like this is the first arrow that now has a pin and a knock. The pins fit really good into the arrow shafts so far. There's no real big gaps or spaces, because usually for some of the arrows you could go and like run your finger to where the components are, and you'll keep getting stuck on like a ridge. There really isn't that on these arrows. Let me see. I don't know if you guys probably can't see that, but they fit pretty nicely to each other. Like there's a tiny little bit, but I want to say my X10s are about the same. And then we'll be checking out how the points fit in the uncut shaft too. I'm gonna cut them down. I'm just not doing it on this live stream. Who else? All right. Very interesting. Yeah, I was actually talking to a whole bunch of French shooters, not about VAPs, but yeah, it seems like I didn't realize how big field archery was in Europe. I think that's super awesome, but it's cool to hear your experience with these arrows. So you say they were pretty good all the way out to 60 meters, and then beyond that, you said you felt like they were having a little bit of issues with the wind. All right, I'll keep that in mind, because I am trying to get as much information about them as I can, and then I'm going to try to, look to see if I can see these points in my own shooting, because it is gonna differ a little bit for everybody. Like the quality of the components and of the arrow shaft and stuff, that should be standard for everybody. But how the arrow actually performs for each archer, it's going to differ based on like their draw, how much weight they're shooting, your experience level. For a new archer, if this is your first like real professional, like higher end arrow, then this is going to be unbelievable. So it'll be interesting for me. It'll be interesting for me as somebody who's shot X10s now for like 7 years, yeah, somewhere around there, and for that long to go switch to another arrow like this and see if I notice the differences. I know when I switched at one point from X10s to the Black Eagle X Impacts, the X Impacts seemed to be good for a period of time, and then they got a little funky. I don't know if like the carbon or something warped, or I don't know what went on with those. I don't know if it happened to just be my shooting at that point in time, but I have some ways I'm setting up to try to take me as the archer out of it. Of course, I'm still going to be sharing my experience with it, because I'm fairly consistent at shooting. I'm a fairly consistent shot, but for some tests, like grouping wise and stuff, I'm working on having things set up that I can actually shoot these arrows, and there will not be there won't be any person involved besides me flicking a switch to have the bow shoot, and that should really bring in some consistency, and I should be able to get some really good numbers. And I'm sorry, the main camera here it looks really dark on my screen. This one actually looks the little guy here I have looks better, but so sorry about that. But I'm gonna try my best. I have been really appreciating though everybody's feedback already from this live stream here and from the unboxing of these arrows. I've been trying to write all this stuff down and then just try to make a whole bunch of points that I want to go and hit when I actually do the testing, so that everybody can kind of feel like they get a good idea of what's going on. Could do 32 pounds and you cannot reach 70 meters. I could probably do a video on some archery workouts. I actually haven't been doing gym stuff in quite a while now. Most of it has just been like bow work related. Just a matter of shooting a particular quantity of arrows and doing things outside of just shooting the arrows. I've been really working on. I got a new shot trainer. It's a different design than the other one I was using, and I like it better. It fits my arm better, and it doesn't hit me as much. Because I have two now, but the one actually started as I corrected my form. It actually started hitting me a lot right in my forearm, and maybe some of it was me. But this one I switched to that my coach actually likes better. It actually doesn't. It doesn't. I was getting like bruises and stuff. It doesn't do that. And when you're not, feeling pain when you're shooting because something you're using is hitting you every time you release, that's really good. So I could probably put together a little video of some things that I do that maybe you could look into applying to your own shooting. It definitely seems to vary. I'm sure like a lot of the members on like the U.S. team and stuff like that probably have a set training regimen, but for me, it's tough because like I'm doing this stuff, like I'm doing videos, live streams are hopefully coming back. Then at the same point in time, I'm working a regular job, and then I'm trying to edit and work on videos and make some little archery products that help support the channel because there's a lot going on here. So I don't have the most defined schedule. I kind of just like work at whatever needs to be done. That's why sometimes there'll be like little breaks in the videos. I've been on a roll recently though. I've definitely put out a video almost like every day now, which is kind of intense. It's a lot of finger and leg work, but it's all right. Great question though. I'll keep it in mind. I can't guarantee anything like right away because I'm kind of like always super behind on videos, so I'll try my best. You're trying to save up for the you want to shoot and you're training for the African Games and the Olympics. Save up for X10s or go for something cheaper. Uh at this point, X10s, but I'm hoping that the VAPs are awesome. Like, because I can't say anything about them yet. Like, they seem to be made really well, but I haven't seen them shoot. So hopefully the VAPs are awesome, and then I can tell you, hey, go pick these up. But right now, I would say X10s are probably the way to go at this point. Then again, there has been some shooters I know that are having a lot of success with the Carbon Express products too. But yeah, I'm kind of limited on that because I've shot X10s for so long. So I'm hoping these really really do their job well, and I would be more than happy to trade my X10s in for these if they're doing what I hope they're going to do, and that's just be consistent, reliable, and then I can shoot great groups. Huh. All right, Dan. Thanks for telling me that. So they seem to run stiff. I guess we'll find out. The cool thing is, and what I was also excited about, and we'll break these out, is that they run some crazy heavy points for these victory arrows. This is 140 grains. And I know like Easton's starting to do that with a lot of their points, but there was a point in time that you couldn't get anything heavier than 120. So I think it's pretty great that they give you a point with so much versatility. So I'll probably start at 120 grains, see if they make my arrows weak, and if so, I'll probably break them down. I'm guessing each one of these is probably 20 grains. So this is probably a 100 grain point, and then 120, 140. That would be my guess. I'd have to look at all their numbers, but they do give you a point that is really flexible for that. It's not like you have to go out and buy more. I don't know. They also fit really nicely into these arrows. Well, because they're not glued in, they're going to come out. But like my fingers, I'm running my fingers on these, and you really there's not really a ledge again on the ends of the shaft. There's not really a ledge where the shaft meets the point, so it's a good sign. I don't know. I know when I was building my Black Eagle, the X Impacts, I ran into some problems with it being inconsistent where I put in because I ran pin knocks on those and of course points, but where they met on those arrows, I had some that there was a significant ledge, and I'm like, why is this? And there wasn't really an answer for that, which was interesting. So I'm hoping Victory keeps all their components this consistent, because that'd be very good. Let's see what else you guys have to say. Okay, so Wheel Wispo, 100 grain tip. Victories. Yeah, the price really got people going. It's been going up over the years too for the X10s. I have not written the numbers down. I didn't write the numbers down, but at one point, I would say 5 years ago, you could get X10s for like $350, $380, somewhere around there. It's been a while. I have to look at what I paid for them back then, but they're like $420 now, or somewhere around that. They're over $400, and you don't get knocks or anything. These arrows actually came with insert knocks. I'm putting pins and pin knocks on them, but you could technically skip buying knocks if you really wanted to, because they do come with knocks. So all you would have to buy is fletchings and points. So it's not too bad of an option. It's pretty interesting. Should index these a little better. just going to straighten these arrows out so when I fletch, it's all fletched exactly the same. I really appreciate everybody's, everybody sharing their experience with these arrows as well. It's very interesting to hear. Some of the stuff is very similar. A lot of people have a very similar experience. It seems like overall, though, people are pretty happy with them. I had a couple people that did tell me they felt the arrows were too light, and a couple people I've heard a couple people now tell me that they felt the arrows were a bit stiffer than what they expected. Like I guess the spines are a little heavier than what the arrow chart told them. But I'll keep an eye out for all of that, and I'll definitely do my best to try to include all those points in the videos to come for that. Since I'm doing this here, I'll have half of my arrows done. I have a full dozen, but I need the other 6 for. I'm gonna make a construction video on it, especially since it'll be helpful to new shooters and such. I did one with the X10s years ago. Oh, that was weird. All right, so we have all of our nocks on, pins on. We're all set up there. Now it's time to clean up this little mess. It's time to go and put some fletchings onto these arrows. So we got our fletching jig. Got some running some SV vanes. We can use some red ones or rose. They're calling them pink, but I definitely call these red. That's all right though. I'm gonna be slapping those on. I don't know if they make a tri-tape for these arrows. They probably do. They're a very popular arrow, from what I've been told by a lot of people. Since so many people have been telling me that they shoot them, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a tri-tape. All right. And we're going to be using 2.5 inch right-handed Jet 6 SV vanes. That is a lot of veins. That is a ton of veins. All right. Let's start fletching our first arrow. So I already lined up all the nocks on here just beforehand, so they should all set up exactly the same, which makes me really happy. I'm not OCD about a lot of things in life, but for some reason, fletching arrows just really kicks in the OCD. I just like everything in nice in order. I don't know. For other things in life, not that I'm a mess, but everything doesn't have to be so organized. As you can see, the rest of this table, it's not quite bothering me, even though it's a bit of a mess. But when doing arrows, man, it just clicks right on, and it's just like, ooh, gotta make it perfect. Yes, I feel like building arrows. I'll agree with you, Daniel. Building arrows it can be therapeutic. I don't know, like I can't have music on this live stream, but you think about it. You just sit there. You have some nice music playing. You don't have. Oh, you can have other people around if you want to chat with them. you can then just sit back, fletch an arrow, drink some water, and then just go about the process. Take your time with it. It's not it's fun when they make it into a race, when you watch like the World Archery things, but it's not a race. You can take your time with it and enjoy the whole process. I know some people don't enjoy the process, but for me, yeah, I find the process of doing this very enjoyable. Hopefully I can get the tape off. Oh, hello, Benjamin. Wow, so many people on the stream. Thank you everybody for coming out. All right. For a second there, I didn't think the the tape came off, but it did. It did. What a process. Oh, I haven't done this in a little while. I have the tri-fletches for my X10s, so I've been just rolling them on the jig, and it kind of pampers you a little bit. Yeah, there we go. All right, first piece of tape on. It's pretty straight. Scotland, hello. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. It is really great to be back sharing this with everybody. Yeah, nope. Struggling to get tape off for some reason. Struggle's real. Aha, there we go. Number 2. No. Uh-oh. What? Really? Watch me make a mess. All right, there we go. We got it now. Minor difficulties. Right. So is anybody looking forward to a particular tournament in the future? Anybody? Is everybody going to outdoors, or is there a lot of people here that are still shooting indoors? Do you shoot indoors year round, or do you live in a place where you can shoot outdoors year round? Because I know I have my friend Sarah Lopez that lives in Colombia. She shoots compound. She gets to shoot outside year round. So I know she really doesn't get to shoot indoors, or she can, but it's indoors, outdoors, because they don't need to build all the buildings and stuff to shoot inside because it's so nice and warm there. So anybody else on they're working towards their outdoor season, or everybody still working on indoors? Yeah. Yes, Benjamin. I will be testing them in a video, or I probably won't like live stream test them because it's a very slow and like tedious process. Because I when I make a video about things, I do my best to try to understand it like fully. So like I'll intentionally make mistakes on things because I want to see what happens. So that's kind of hard. I don't want to put all that into a video. You'd be there for days. So what I'll do is that I'll build make a list of things I want to test or things I'm looking for, and then I'll run those and I'll film me like running through those and the results, and then go from there. But yeah, these arrows are going to be tested. Actually, for that matter, these vanes I will be doing videos on the K&K vanes. I know I like unboxed them and stuff like 2 months ago now, but as soon as the weather gets a little bit better and I can actually have consistent days and I'm not bundled up, I want to do some like speed tests and things like that. Obviously to check out the arrows, I want to check out the vanes, but I need ways. I need the weather to behave and cooperate so that I can have some more consistency in what I'm testing, because I'm trying to minimize the variables. All right, we got a whole bunch of questions. Curly or straight veins? Curly veins. I think it depends on the vein though, if they're fragile or not. I find that like spin wings are much more fragile than the K&K wings, K&K veins are. Or I haven't tested Brady's veins, but I know his are pretty strong too, compared to the spin wings. Straight veins aren't that popular, at least in the U.S., for outdoor shooting. And I know looking at the World Cups and all the shooters that shoot in that, they're all using some kind of curled vein. So I would say, like, if you're gonna do a lot of outdoor shooting and or you're gonna have a dozen arrows dedicated to shooting outdoor distances, then you probably would want to put on, curved veins for them. Indoor arrows, you really don't need curved veins, even though these SV veins did work really well this year indoors, and Korea seems to like them for both. At least that's the word on the street. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually use them for the World Cups and such. But I know the Korean teams were using them indoors. So we'll see how that goes. But for indoors, you generally would want a nice straight vein. A lot of people prefer feathers. One, because they look super cool, and two, like, you don't have to worry about like wind or anything when you're inside a building. So they're really good at catching a lot of air and really stabilizing and slowing down that arrow, and really straightening that arrow out really quickly. So I could definitely see that for indoors. I'll be right back. I need to get a knife because I didn't get one. Alright, made it back. And we got our handy dandy box cutter. I'll probably do this all at once. We'll just make a batch of them. For that matter, I should probably draw lines on all of these, get the fletching jig out of the way, and then just fletch them all up. So let me go and do that. We do have one almost completed. Looking pretty cool. Looks pretty nice. I know, this is going to be fun to shoot. I can't wait. Nice, shooting a barebow in the cold. Hey, kudos to you, man. That's really awesome. Hopefully you're enjoying it. It was an unofficial competition, but John Demmer was actually out shooting me at Vegas with his barebow, and I was shooting Olympic recurve. I beat him the first day. He beats me the second day, and I think he beat me the third day. I think he ended up beating me by like a few points. The guy shoots a barebow really, really well. Actually, there's a lot of really good barebow shooters out there. He's not like the only one. There's a lot of talented barebow shooters. Oh, very cool, Benjamin. Well, you know, good luck with those tournaments. You can do it. You just got to put the practice in. All right, so France, everybody's starting to do uh, field and FIDA. Very cool. I actually met JC, or that's how what he tells it. He told me to call him. Um, the individual silver medalist from France. He's a very nice guy. He was very fun to talk to. I met him a couple times. One of them was actually in, or at twice at the Arizona Cup. Yeah, he's a very cool guy to talk to. D-cut fletching jig. Okay, you have a question on a fletching jig. When is it? So when it's set to a 0 on both ends, the feather sits angled to the center of the shaft. Is that normal? This is not a D-cut fletching jig, but mine are centered pretty much. I'm not sure. I would actually have to like really see that fletching jig to be able to tell you. I would think though, if you have them both lined up with 0, the 0 should be center. So then you should be straight fletching your arrows, and you should not be putting any kind of helical on them. But that's interesting. Sorry I can't be more help on that one. TFTG. All right, so this is something that I want to make into like a whole video, but I have a couple more riser videos I have to do. The TFTG is definitely the smoothest riser I have shot ever, like so far. And I don't know if it's the riser and the limb combo. It probably is the combo of the both. So I don't know if it's just the limbs that are super smooth, or the riser working with the limbs. It just makes for a real. It's a ridiculously smooth draw. This year I've already shot. I shot the TFTG and NSG limbs. This year I shot the MKZ with my own Veracity limbs. I've shot the Hoyt Formula X with the Hoyt Velos limbs. I've shot the Fivix Titan EX with the Titan EX limbs. There may be a bow or two in the future, and hopefully I can make this video talking about all of them sometime after Arizona Cup. It'll probably be like a May video. I know that's a while off, but it's I'm trying to do things right. But but each one of those, all those bows I just mentioned, all of them have a very unique personality, like to their own, and I'm trying my best to talk about each one, because I was honestly even surprised about it, because you start hearing from people, all the top bows shoot exactly the same. Yes, they all shoot arrows, and they all shoot arrows well, but they all have, every bow has their own personality to it. So I'm really working on covering that well in videos. The Fivix one was the two win ones I did, the TFT last year and the TFTG this year was the start to that. But now that I've shot like the MK, the Hoyt, the Fivix, 5X, I've shot all these bows. Now I'm really and I've shot my own bows at home too. You know, I have I've shot a couple I've had a couple Formula bows. I've had a couple GMXs, and like, so it's not like this is my first time shooting a lot of bows, but I'm really developing a good sense of the different bow personalities, and I want to be able to share that with people because I think it's going to help people make a better like buying decision on the bow or on the riser they want, and maybe the riser limb combo they want. I would really like to be able to break them down. I want to see if a particular riser from a particular brand shoots well on its own with other brands' equipment in it. But of course, the brands don't want that. Sorry, that was a lot at once. I kind of went on a roll there. In short, there's going to be a lot of cool riser stuff coming up. It's just a matter of me getting the time to do it. And I want to do it. I definitely want to do it. It's just a matter of getting the time and everything else all in line. Let's see. I saw some other questions. Yes, the stream is delayed, Benjamin. I don't know how many seconds it's delayed. It's probably. Let's see. Okay, delay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's like a 15-second delay. If anybody's that curious. No, I fooled you all this whole time. This is actually a recording. Let's see, what else? Stream delayed. No, though, I really do think the G part, the graphene, is an innovation. I was looking up videos that were not archery related on graphene, and it seems like just individuals for just other industries like aeronautics and stuff like that, they're all pretty excited about graphene. So I don't think it's just a like a win-win saying, oh, we got this, you gotta buy it now. I actually think they made an improvement because of the graphene, and that's why they went with it. But it is hard to say because we've been marketed like this before from other companies. So I would have really liked to have shot the TFTG a lot more, and again try it out with different risers and different other brands of limbs too. Oh, another bow I've shot too. The Chaser Python is definitely its own unique bow as well, and I'm getting around to a review for that. I know that's been almost a year, but again, slow. We're slow here at Sure Shot Archery. trying my best. Let's see, we had some other questions. What's my opinion on Hoyt bows? Hoyt bows are coming back around. No offense to anybody that owns one. Hey, if it's working great for you, that's fantastic. I have no problem with that. But my experience through the years has been, oh, this is awesome, to what's going on, to all right, oh, good, we're about here again. The peak was here, but we're definitely not in the bottom. At one point in time, there was definitely quality issues with their equipment. I don't know if they subbed some of it out, or I don't know what was going on. Like I have no idea, but I knew a lot of people, and they were all contacting me saying, hey, I'm having this problem. Are you having this problem? And at that point, I was shooting Hoyt bows and stuff. So I know, or at least I've seen a lot of that get corrected, and it really feels like Hoyt is going back on the up and up again. I definitely don't feel like they're at their peak. When I first bought their equipment, one of my first set of limbs was a Hoyt Epic limbs, actually. And honestly, those things have like 200,000 shots in them, at least 100,000, without a doubt. at least 100,000 shots. I had those for years. They still look brand new. There's no wear on them. It's unbelievable. Compared to my Quattros have maybe 100,000 shots. Probably like 50,000. No, more like 50,000 shots because I shot them for a year and then I was done. They were so worn out. It was sad. And those Epic limbs were like the mid-range. I bought those for like $200. I bought my Quattros for like $600, somewhere around there. I'm kind of pulling numbers because I don't know exactly how much they were, but it was a good like triple the price of these Hoyt Epic limbs. But the cheap ones held up so much better. So it seems like Hoyt has put a lot of work into fixing that, and I guess they probably realized that when their market share in the U.S. Dropped, because at one point I would say 80%, if not 90%, of all the bows at USAT tournaments used to be Hoyts. Now they probably do about 45%. So there was clearly a problem, because if there wasn't, then they would still be holding closer to that majority of the bows on the line. I would say they're about 45% of the bows on the line, maybe a little bit less. I definitely say like MK's probably got like a 5 or 10% in there, maybe 5, shared with Fivix. Fivix also has like a 5 or 10% in there. And then the remainder, and maybe I'm putting Hoyts a little bit high, but win and win, man. There was so many bows at one point. They were definitely over 50% of the bows on the tournament shooting line. I'll have to see how it goes this year, but there's more and more companies, and it is great in a way. I know Hoyt's probably not happy about it, but like it's about time we have some kind of competition. Because having one brand dominate everybody else, just like the whole Easton X10 thing, it's not helpful for us, the archers. So that's why I'm really excited about the Victory products, because I'm hoping that the quality and the performance is there, the consistency in this product, and I'm hoping I get really good results, because I think there needs to be more challengers to the X10. I know Carbon Express has their Nano Pros. I haven't shot them, but I heard they're pretty good. But like still, that's only 2. Let's get 3 or more. Then the prices have to come down for us shooters buying them, because there should be more competition. Because odds are they're not all going to be in agreement. Let's charge this. That's not going to happen. I don't. And if it does, then there'll be somebody else that'll start up a company and offer even cheaper arrows. So like the competition should drive the prices down. More people can enjoy the sport. It's going to make them develop a larger variety of arrows. So there's going to be more intermediate and beginner arrows that are priced really cheaply. There'll be more options for top shooters, more money overall, because this is a whole ecosystem here. How much do VAPs cost? I'm going to go and Google this now, because I thought I paid like $300. Let's see. All right, we're Googling it. All right, we'll see what Lancaster has to say. Okay, they're $13.33 a shaft. Look, we're going to do math on the live stream. Oh. Wait, that might be for... Hold on, let me see if I got the right ones. Oh, I'm way wrong. Never mind. I don't know what I was paying attention to. I was probably thinking about the VXTs. They're $160 a dozen. You know how many dozens of these I could buy compared to a dozen X10s? This would be unbelievable. Yeah, I was incorrect before. So it's $160 for a dozen VAPs. It's 400 and change. Let me go look up Let me go look up X10s now. Because we need to know. The people need to know. Okay, so X10s are $423. That's pretty good. So you could technically buy 2.5 dozen VAPs per 1 dozen X10s and still have money left over to buy. If you can buy 2 dozen, have money left over to buy all the components. So you can get 2 dozen fully built arrows, victory arrows, for the price of 1 dozen not built Easton X10s. So we'll see how it goes. And there's even a higher grade arrow than the VAPs. I'm just starting out with these. We're going to see how it goes. But they do have their VXT, and that one is $300 a dozen. I think that's where I was pulling that number from. And those should definitely be good competition for the X10s. But still, again, it's still $120 something cheaper. It's still way better value. You could buy those and afford all the components for them, and you would still be cheaper than just the shafts for X10s. So hopefully this really helps people out. That would be fantastic. Daniel. Yeah, basically all Win and Win is doing with the graphene is they're sticking it into, they're just sticking it in between their carbon layers on the risers and stuff, which is not a bad thing. I don't know how much it changes. It would be cool to have a TFT and a TFG right next to each other. I felt like there was a smoothness difference, but maybe that had to do with, the riser was probably a little stiffer. It's hard to tell without having the two right next to each other and then like shooting them back to back. It was definitely smoother though, and I don't know why that was. It's a display bow too. It's not like I didn't go and buy the limbs and put them on. It's not that I think they would do anything shady of trying to have better limbs on their demo bows than what they sell. That wouldn't go too well. And based on the performance of their equipment, because they're winning more and more things, shooters shooting Win and Win stuff have won a lot of tournaments and such. I doubt they play around with it. They like any company. I think they probably hype the things up a little bit more to a degree because they got a business to run. But hopefully people like me and others, we can try our best to give really accurate and reliable feedback on these products, and hopefully help everybody else out, help out our fellow archers, and at the same point in time kind of put these companies in a position where they have to make a certain level of quality to their product to be able to get away with the prices and such that they charge. I don't know. I think it's a nice. I think what's going on with like archery and the internet and everything. I think this is a nice balancing of the archery ecosystem, because I feel like in the past, companies with like their professional archers, they would just put ads up. Oh, so and so shot all these, but is it just the archer? Is it the equipment? Is this actually better? And it's nice now that like somebody like me or somebody at home, you can go and try out something and you can go and post a video, about it, about your experience with it, and it just helps others, learn about the product and helps them make a better decision. So I feel like we're in the age now of, as long as you still need to know where to look and what to look for, but you can definitely make a better decision on products now archery products now than you could have ever done in the past. At least in my experience, because all my former purchases for equipment have all been from recommendations of coaches and things like that. And some of that is now because you do have to trust your coach, but I can still like test these pieces of equipment, see how they work, see if they actually work better, and then I can make videos about them and share them with everybody online. All right, look at that. It's going pretty good. This has been a really fun live stream so far. I just want to. I'm sure some people have left that were here in the beginning, but I really appreciate everybody that just came out. Glad so many people are home to hang out on a live stream with me. That's really awesome. I'm definitely thinking about doing more of these in the future. Not even just from what I'm not. It's not just from the feedback I've gotten on this one. I did enjoy doing the other ones in the past. It's just that it felt a little tedious doing the same format every single time. And I have some ideas on breaking up that a little bit and making it a little more entertaining, which is going to be beneficial, well, to me, but to you guys, and then to like the broader community, because I think archery has a lot to offer, and I think I can do something about sharing it with the masses of people out there, and really get people interested about what's going on. Because I know I find myself personally, and I don't know about everybody else, but I know I find myself personally, I'll get attracted to like random things I never thought of. Like I've caught myself watching like some like esports tournaments and things like that, or like some like random YouTube cooking show, like just these like not off the wall things, but just things that I wouldn't have looked at before. But I liked the format. It was very catchy. It was very entertaining. Yet it was simple, and it just, I don't know. It got you interested in something new. And I think that's what needs to be done with archery. And I think the best way to do it is on the independent side. So people like me who don't have like whole companies dedicated to that. Because, we need the ESPNs of the world, but we also need like the individual people too, because there's a uniqueness to that. Whew. All right. Looking pretty great. This is getting later though. This has been a long live stream. I'll probably just fletch up this last one here, and wait, I want this piece of tape. And I'll put the tapes. I'll put the marked tape on these, and then we'll probably wrap it up from there. I gotta get dinner and stuff ready here. And we have been going for quite a while. It also seems like a lot of the questions have died down too, so I'm sure some of the people that were on earlier have... Oh, see you, Benjamin. Thank you for coming out and watching. Great questions, by the way, and good luck on your shooting. Happy shooting, man. So yeah, I don't know. Mess. Oh no. It may never come off. Alright, we got that one. Oh. This last one, it's putting up a fight. Making a mess out of it. Alright. Got that one on. Time to go and put some veins onto this arrow. Oh, wow. Well, have a good night. Yeah, it's late all the way by you. Thanks for coming on the live stream. Ah, hello, Germany. Pretty late night for you. No, I have not tried the biter hit or miss targets. But yes, they do look like a lot of fun. That would be quite a cool experience. I'll have to find a way, or I'll get around to picking up one. Veins are stuck. They're sticking together. All right. Nice. Another nicely fletched arrow. I'm going to trim that. And now we're going to go ahead to the taping section of this video. Now, I have not taped these arrows. I know for my X10s that 20 on number 20 on these measured tapes is perfect. So I usually just cut a line all the way across, and then I just peel them off because that's super easy. And that way I can save as much tape as possible because I'm cheap. No, well, kinda. But I like saving things. I don't wanna waste archery resources here. So, oh, cool. Well, it looks like these are the same. These might be the same diameter. I might be able to use tri-tape on these. That would be fun. I am actually going to cut all of these at 20. Awesome. That's going to make it so easy. So I cut a line down them now. They should be cut. So then when I peel them up, really? It's not working as planned. This always works, especially when I'm not on live stream. Oh, maybe not. Okay, there we go. Now they're coming off. Just had to cut it twice. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, Hanover. Okay, I know where that is. Nice. Well, have a good night. I'll do my best to keep making more videos. All right, look at that. First one. We're just using the thick tape for both. I can't be bothered with the small one. Alrighty. And one more arrow here. Also, there'll be more on some other products as well. I got to work on video. There's going to be videos for the Shrewd Atlas V-Bar coming up. There's also going to be more videos on that black gold recurve sight that I've been using. It's actually been going pretty good. Also, there'll be more videos on the Biter V-Box. Because that's a really neat dampener, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. And I have a really cool idea for a video. Well, there's going to be a couple of videos about it, but there's definitely going to be like a testing related video, and then I'll probably have a video that wraps all that up for like a third. But I have a really cool testing video for that Biter V-Box. I've ran through all the different discs, dampening discs that they give you, because they give you a whole bunch, and it's really neat to hear and see the changes in the bow from those dampening discs. So that'll be something really fun to share with everybody. So right now we have our 3 arrows all put together. I was gonna do all 6, but this ran a lot longer than I was expecting. It went really well though, so I really appreciate everybody coming on and checking this out. This video itself will be up, so if somebody wants to look back at this and check it out, it'll be there for you. Other than that, I'm going to definitely be turning off the live stream now. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support in the comments. You guys had excellent questions. Some of them are a little bit harder to answer, just because you really have to see some of these things in archery. That's why I try to make the videos, and then hopefully that some of these things, especially some of the how-to stuff and the more technical things, it'll relate over to your equipment. It is a bit tough, but it looks like everybody's having a great time in the chat. So thank you so much for watching. Keep on enjoying your content. Thank you, Daniel. So with that, just want to give everybody a big happy shooting, and I'll see you guys next time. There's probably a video coming out tomorrow, so keep an eye on it. I'll keep working on more content for everybody, and hopefully this really starts taking off, so that I can do this more often, and we can really grow the archery community as a whole, because it's so much fun sharing all this with everybody. All right. I'll see you guys later, hopefully on another live stream, or you'll see me in just a regular video, but hopefully we'll do another live stream soon in the future. So thank you so much. Happy shooting.